guys, it's me Courtney and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the new Urban Decay Hydro Maniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This is a part of their Stay Naked line, which I'm a huge fan of. I love the powder, I love the foundations. Although they tend to be a little bit like stark in color, like super yellow, super orange, I still feel like it gives you a really nice base. So I was super curious about these, especially because I wasn't exactly sure about like what these are supposed to be. So if you are interested in this foundation slash tinted moisturizer situation, then please continue to watch. Alright, so this is what the actual packaging looks like. It does come in like a squeezy tube. I am actually a really big fan of like the color story of like the teal blue with like the foundation color on it. I think it's really beautiful. This foundation is $29 for 1.1 ounces. It only comes in 12 shades, which I'm gonna get into. Originally, I was gonna buy this online, but I saw that Ulta had it in store. I ended up picking up the shade 50 medium, which is warm, and I also picked up 60 medium dark, which is also a warm tone. There is one shade in between these two. I believe it is 51, and it is a neutral. Now, the thing about this foundation, it has only neutral and warm tones. There are no cool tones in it, so if you are super duper fair, medium, tan, medium dark, rich, with a cool tone, you don't necessarily have a shade in this. I thought for sure, since I haven't been getting out in the sun, that this shade was going to work. This is 50, and you would think that that would be like my winter shade that technically I still have. But negative, this shade is way too light for me. So we are gonna be using the shade 60 today. All right, now as far as what the main claims of this foundation are, it is a vegan formula, so that is awesome. It's a radiant finish, long wearing liquid formulation, of course, and it is supposed to be hydrating. It does have kombucha in it and a marula oil, I believe. Yep, so it does have like that quality of skincare in it. Today, I'm gonna be going in with my No Problem Primer. I can honestly say that like any primer I've used with it, I get the same result. As I did mention, it is a squeeze tube, so I'm gonna squeeze out little by little. I did notice that this is a buildable type of foundation, so you can definitely share this out if you want to. I'm gonna go for like a medium-esque coverage. My concealer is gonna be a little bit more on the full coverage side, so we're just gonna kind of play with it a little bit. It's a little bit more on like the thicker kind of serum-y side, which I do enjoy it. Okay, so no foundation, and then with foundation. You can still definitely see some of my moles peeking through, and it does make the skin look really healthy and glowy, so I love that about it. So now I'm gonna go on this side with a brush so you guys can see what that looks like as well. Brush side. And then we have sponge side, and I feel like you can get away with either one. Now, because I am wearing a more full coverage concealer, I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more in certain areas just to make it all make sense. So I went ahead and added a little bit more. I know I look a little crazy with the light on my face, but it does match. To me, I would rate this like a lightweight medium coverage type of situation, but I do think you can build it up more than you should be able to with a tinted moisturizer, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my face so you guys could see what that looks like. Alright, so this is the look that we are going to be rocking today. Per usual, I will leave everything that I am wearing on my face in the description box below. So far, everything feels really comfortable. Every time that I've worn this foundation, I feel like there's nothing on my face, like, you know what I mean? It's always very smoothing, very flawless. I do get like the tiniest amount of creasing right here, which isn't like the biggest issue to me lately, but everything else looks so good, feels so comfortable. Every contour that I've used with it works well. Every bronzer, every blush, like everything always goes on really smoothly. But I feel like today, like every other makeup day that I've worn this foundation, it looks awesome. I did set it with a powder, just a light little set, because it does get a little bit tacky depending on what primer you use with it. I can actually get away with using this without a powder, but just today I kind of wanted to, you know, mattify it a little bit. It is now 11:39. I'm gonna go ahead and go about the rest of my day. I'm gonna try to do a check-in before I do my workout so you guys can see what that looks like, and then I'll come back after the workout and we can see how it holds up with like sweat and stuff like that. Yeah. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my check-in since it's like quiet and everybody left the house. So it is now 3:37, so we're like 2 minutes shy, I think, of 4 hours. So this is what my face is looking like. As you can see, I do have a little bit of oils peeking through. Not mad at it. I still feel like in person especially, my face still looks really healthy, really smooth. On the tip of my nose, I do have the most shine. I do have a highlighter on top of that as well. But I didn't highlight the forehead. That still is pretty, I don't want to say matte because it's not matte, but it's still like a healthy kind of glow. Around this area right here, I am getting a little bit oily, and then here as well. It still feels comfortable. Like, it still feels so good. And like I said, because I have dry skin, I enjoy foundations like this. Like, this is my jam. Yeah, but I did want to pop on here and show you guys what we are looking like around the 4-hour mark. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye. Alright guys, so this is actually another day, as you can see. So I did end up doing the workout that I told you guys I was gonna do. It ended up being a really intense workout, so like the makeup got sweated out pretty bad. Like, no foundation would have like lasted under the circumstances, and I just felt like it wasn't a good representation of the foundation in general. Now with that being said, I feel like if you're one of those people that really loves to wear makeup at the gym, this is definitely not the foundation for that. It is a little bit more, again, on the hydrating side, so I just feel like maybe that and sweat together, just not a good combo anyway. I have worn this on several occasions, like with my mask and everything like that, and I do get a little bit of like movement, of course, but it doesn't necessarily all come off on the mask. I'll usually like pat it a little bit with a paper towel or something like that, and then everything looks good as new. But every time that I've worn this foundation, I get the same result, so I'll show you what this looks like at the end of the day. I got finished with my makeup today around like 11 o'clock, 10:45ish, 11 o'clock. So I am gonna give this a 6-hour wear time, and then as I am talking, I will show you what it looks like at the end of the day. It doesn't get too crazy. Like, it'll get a little oily in some spots, and aside from like a slight amount of creasing right here every now and then, I still feel like it's a beautiful foundation. I feel like you can see the skincare benefits. My skin, every time I wear it, looks beautiful, it looks healthy, it looks glowy. I did want to talk a little bit about the shade range with this foundation. I feel like while we do have some really light tones and we have some really deep tones, I do feel like we miss cool tones completely, and I do think that it skips around way more than it should. It is marketed as like a tinted glow hydrator, and I feel like when you hear that, you think tinted moisturizer. Tinted moisturizers typically come in 10 shades, 6 shades, you know what I mean? And the reason being is because a lot of tinted moisturizers are meant to just be a tint. They're meant to sort of even out the skin, and they're more based in skincare than they are like full face glam type of situation. But it's supposed to cover like a wider range. That's one of my issues with tinted moisturizers, and you know, saying that you don't need a huge shade range. It's, you still need undertone is what I'm saying. Like, you still need undertone, you still need depth, you still need you know what I mean? Like, you still have to get a few things right for it to still make sense. That all being said, I don't even feel like this is a tinted moisturizer. It's medium coverage, and dare I say, it's pretty buildable for any kind of tinted moisturizer. This is closer to a foundation, and I just feel like they could have came out with a better shade range. Now that being said, I do actually like this foundation. I am a huge fan of it. Whether you have dry skin, I even feel like if you have oily skin, you can get away with it. Definitely you want to think about your skin prep, your primer, your powders, your setting, all of that, but I do feel like it's such a healthy looking foundation on the skin. I hope that they come out with more shades to sort of fill in the in-between shades that they completely just left out. That makes sense? Alright guys, that about does it for me. Hopefully this video was fun, entertaining, helpful. Sometimes I tend to ramble, you know, I have like a lot going on in my brain and it just kind of spews out of my mouth. So hopefully you guys got something from this video. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if it is in your heart to do so, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.